here we go again. Wouldn't it be cool if I actually could play like a song or something? Nope, I can only play trance. Trance. I can only play trance. If you understand that joke, well, I pity the fool. Alright. We're going to dive into something a little more deeper. Being a Specter skeleton soul observer of the sub-physical realm, I've seen a lot of things. And that means a lot of change throughout human history. And some of the most significant changes in human history have occurred within the last 250 years. Basically, since the birth of the land of the free. Okay, the idea of the land of the free. Since its inception, the United States of America, the idea of freedom, a free peoples, a free world, so to speak, human technology has advanced faster than ever before in human history. And that is a direct and indirect result of this idea of freedom. No, it's not perfected or anything by any measure, but that idea, that direction, has directed the world towards the idea, the concept, the desire of peaceful freedom. Yes, a lot of horrific things have happened due to this also increased technology, as attributed by things like nuclear bombs and whatnot. But they are unfortunately a part of the growth, the benevolent growth. Yes, it was a horrible, horrific thing, but you know what? You humans, for the most part, I commend you, have done so much to refrain from allowing this knowledge to get out of hand, so to speak, hopefully. Yes, it's not typical of me to do something so blatantly blatant as to hold the Star-Spangled Banner of the United States. But it's not so much about the country that this represents, it's the idea that this represents. The idea of human, peaceful freedom throughout the world. And, of course, the birthday of the United States of America is just around the riverbed. Bam. Speaking of freedoms, something that's been changed, something that became legal, and then is coming illegal, and then is becoming legal in just less than a century's time, strangely enough. Look at that. It was only made illegal because of bigotry. Yeah, this was made illegal because some white supremacist wanted a way to control minorities. I've come around. I'm walking around with a shotgun. Okay. Since we are talking about the ideas of freedoms and, well, technologies of the last 200 years or so, let's go into something that's very vital to what we are doing here. Consider this electronic, visual, audio, social media message. It is a form of communication. It is active and passive at the same time. Well, it's active right now, and then when it's loaded up and everything, it becomes passive. Only become active when it is viewed, But it comes down to a form of communication. Before the 19th century of your human era, communications were limited to writing, sending that writing on, carrying and delivering, Communication was slow, very limited. But within 200 years, since after the birth of idea of freedom, that communication thing has grown beyond belief, considering the length of human history. This right here is nothing. It's but a drop into the proverbial bucket of human history. FYI, yes, this may be going on a bit because it's kind of complicated. So it may be a couple of parted. FYI. So, let's go into communication and what we're going to get into. And that is the communication changes just within the generation of Mr. Vane's thus far existence. Beginning in the mid-70s, continuing until here we are. But we'll focus more on the 80s and 90s, the 1980s, 1990s, when Mr. Vane was a child to a teenager, basically. Who's there? Hello? Somebody was wanting my attention. Oh well. Oh yeah, get on with it, right? That's what we're getting at. Get on with it. Here we go. Ma'am. Yeah, just wanted to show you the screen. This is an older phone. Mostly just use this as an MP3 player now. That's what's basically the communication device of choice in today's age. Telephone, that's more than a telephone. It is a communications device. Some might argue, but you can go on the internet and you can get... Yeah, that's all communications. It's all electronics communications. Gaining information at will, this is communications. Books are communications. Information stored upon electronical signals is communications. Let's go back, before I was a llama, to the 1980s. And more specifically, when Mr. Vane was 7 years old. Before 7 years old, Mr. Vane had, of course, used a telephone before. Okay, we're going back to telephone push buttons. That was like the common thing, push button. So you're not going back to the one. Okay, no, none of that. I just show right push button thing. I wish I had a phone here. Why does it seem like somebody's trying to get my attention? Excuse me one moment.